Hey, what's up, people? It's Generic Hardcore. I'm back. This time I'm going to do a little video. I don't know how long it'll be, but this is in regards to a First Amendment Frauditor, civil rights activist. I don't know what he likes to call himself. His name is Andrew B. Sheets. And on YouTube, his channel, he goes by Mynitemateneighbors, which is all one word. He also has another channel called Charlotte County Cop Watch. He's eccentric, to say the least. He has been a pest, a thorn in the side of not only the city of Punta Gorda, Florida, which is in Charlotte County, Florida, but the Punta Gorda Police Department and the Charlotte County Sheriff's Department. He has been trespassed from every city government building there is in Charlotte County because of his antics and the things he does and says. I'm not saying I have a big following, because I don't. He does not have much of a following. And very rarely does he have a group. He doesn't never have anybody with him during his protests or his tirades around Punta Gorda. He has serious mental issues. For some reason, he has it out for Bill Pummel, who is the Charlotte County Sheriff. He accuses him of being a Nazi, among many other things. I don't know really the full story, because of course you only get the one side of the story, and that's from Andrew, and it's hard to tell what the story actually is because he's all over the place with different things. But now he's in Punta Gorda harassing and pretty much terrorizing the workers of Punta Gorda in the city hall. And it is a very nice, quaint, quiet town. You know, it's oceanfront. You know, people go there to retire, to visit. People want to relax. The last thing they want is some idiot standing on a corner or walking down a street with a megaphone, which he does now, yelling about or saying F Biden, F Trump, everyone's a Nazi, and if you disagree with him, he will call you a Nazi, and then he'll say, we'll get on the train like the Jews and die like the Jews. And as of the last 2 weeks, he's been doing this. Of course, he will not show himself, but he is standing on the corner in a Nazi uniform with the swastika armband, holding 2 flags on a PVC flag holder. One says F Biden, one says F Trump. And his latest tirade is about because he was wearing a shirt with the cuss word fuck or something like that, either towards Trump or Biden or whatever it was. And people were getting sick of it because he would confront people or walk up to people and say, hey, what do you think about this? Blah, blah, blah. And he'd start talking about everybody, and then he'd start yelling at people. And then if you disagreed with him, he'll start cussing you out over the... now that he's got the microphone, he's doing that. And a lot of people don't agree with him. People just want to be left alone. They don't want to hear that crap. So the city passed an ordinance that you cannot wear clothing or have a sign with the cuss words on it, but you can say it. And, if you were just talking with a buddy, you can say fuck, shit, all that, but you cannot have it on clothing, otherwise you will receive a citation. Well, he's up to about $1,200 or $1,300 in citations. And every time he gets a citation, he gets so mad. He has this blowout. I mean, he throws the biggest tantrum like a 5-year-old does, stomping his feet. He literally stomps his feet and yells at the top of his lungs. Almost cries. It's actually kind of funny. So a little background on him. Like I said, he was banned from all city and county property, or it's just city. I think it's county too, or county and city. He tried running for sheriff of Charlotte County twice, and he failed miserably. Well, it's kind of hard to be a sheriff when you're a convicted felon. He has one felony on his record because he was trapping migratory birds in not rodent trap. Yeah, I guess rodent traps, big ones. I guess they would use like for nutria and stuff like that. Those big giant water rats that they'll find in Florida along the waterways. And he got caught. He got arrested, and it was right after Trump made it a federal... Actually, I think it was already a crime. Now Trump made a felony, a federal offense, or a felony? No, a felony for any abuse to any animal, no matter what it is. Which is why Ian McGuire is in prison. Anyway, he's also a conspiracy theorist because he has these cameras at his house facing the road, and he keeps doing videos of cars passing by, and it kind of resembles... I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shannon Carroll Townsend. That's his real name. He calls himself Stuart Pitlong on his YouTube channel, but his YouTube channel's name is The Most Targeted Citizen. But he says everybody's out to get him, that there's people following him, there's people always passing his house, instigating and trying to hurt him, this and that and the other. This guy's a loose cannon, so if you do happen to go to Charlotte County or Punta Gorda, just word of advice: if you see a guy with flags on the corner, on the main strip, I guess, in Punta Gorda, yelling at the top of his lungs on a megaphone, stay away from him. Don't know what the hell he's going to do. He's already threatened to shoot people, which is, I don't know how the hell he has a gun, because he's already told police he has a gun. He says he's going to start shooting people in the face or spraying them with bear spray. He even did a video, which I will post in the description, which I should have did before I did the video. So, but he did a video in front of the Punta Gorda City Hall, and at like the 2-minute and 51-second mark, he was yelling over the megaphone, and I don't know if it was, the comment was directed towards the people in City Hall or the 2 police officers that were standing outside to the right of the building near their vehicles, or to everybody. But he made a death threat, and he says he's going to do a Deadpool on all those MFers. He's like, I'm going to do a Deadpool on all you MFers. But yeah, this guy is a real treat. He was almost arrested, and I don't know how he was not arrested. He was doing the same thing in the Nazi uniform with the flags outside the gate of an elementary school in Punta Gorda. And there was either a detective that was called, happened to be in the area and responded, or was already there, walked up to him and told him he had to leave. And he kept on saying, no, it's my First Amendment right to do this. I can say it. He was telling parents right in front of their children, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, you're a fucking Jew, die like a Jew, get on the train like the Jews, you Nazi, you, called them, see you next Tuesdays, bitches, anything he can think of, he was calling them. People had enough. I'm assuming they called the police, or the police were already there, like I said. Cop showed up, and he pretty much ordered him out of the way. Well, Andrew didn't want to leave on his own, so the detective kept on walking with him, almost walking behind him, not pushing with his hands, but Andrew knew that if he didn't walk, he was going to get arrested. But he kept running his mouth. Now, the law that Andrew was breaking is Florida Statute 810.0975. Since school was in session, the law says you cannot protest outside of you cannot protest on the real property or within 500 feet of school property or real property or something like that. And he was just outside the main gate. Well, that's within 500 feet. Now, the law says you cannot do this 1 hour prior to school starting, which is everybody arriving to school, and you cannot do it 1 hour after school ends, which means after the last bell, everybody gets let go. He cannot do it within that hour. Well, he was doing it within one of those 2 hours, whether it was day or evening. How he did not get arrested, I don't know, because there was 2 frauditors arrested within 4 days of each other for doing the same thing at a school in Land O'Lakes, Florida, and they were arrested and they were charged. I haven't heard anything more on those 2 cases. Nothing's really been said. I'd have to look into it now that I reminded myself about it. But yeah, Andrew Sheets, he's in fact, he was friends with Ian McGuire for a little while, until Ian McGuire, for some reason, according to Andrew, tried to have him killed by suicide by cop, saying that Ian acted as him, called the police to Andrew's house, had something to do with him beating his wife, had a gun. I don't know the whole story, but that's what Andrew's saying, that Ian tried to get him killed by suicide by cop. So after that, they weren't friends no more. But in his last video, he said he agreed with everything Ian did except for trying to have him killed, and I haven't found any evidence in that, any truth to that. Yeah, people have actually gone after him. One guy got out in his face and threw a full water bottle at his head. They never arrested the guy. These people, the cops have even had enough of this guy. I know it was reported that he made the death threat. The cops didn't want to do nothing. I don't know if they're letting everything just add up and get him all at once for everything he's done, rather than, so he can dig his own grave. But this guy is a loose cannon. His ex-wife divorced him because he was out of his mind. His ex-wife and his daughter don't want anything to do with him. I don't know how he makes a living, because he's always doing these damn videos and he's never working. He says he has a handyman business, but I don't ever see him working. I see him doing like 4 or 5 videos a day. They're not long. Maybe 1 or 2 are long, but the rest are all short. One of the times he hates cops so much, but every time something happens, he's calling the cops for help. He'll run to the cops and literally cry when someone's confronting him, when he feels threatened. But he called the cops the other day in a video. Supposedly he called him and told him that somebody slid his tires. Well, nobody slid his tires. The air was let out of his tires. I don't even know if anybody did it. I'm almost willing to bet it was him, and he was just looking for the attention, because that's the way it looked like with the cop. The female cop just wasn't believing. You can tell in her voice, her mannerisms, that she wasn't believing a damn thing he was saying. He's trying to get people in trouble for things, and then as the video goes on, he's like, there he goes, that's the guy that was confronted me, he's the one approached me, that's the guy that cut my tires, oh, and that may be the other one. And you can see it in the cop's face, like, dude, really? So so if any of you, the reason why I brought this all up, because if any of you are down in Florida and you have nothing to do for the day and you want to get some videos in, do some Frauditor auditing, head to Punta Gorda. I can guarantee this prick is going to be out somewhere on one of the roads, whether it be in front of City Hall, the police department, where the bars are, or maybe down at the beach along the boardwalk, or maybe the school. He'll be at one of those places, but you won't miss him, because he's wearing that Nazi uniform. This guy needs to be stopped, because he's going to hurt somebody, or somebody's going to hurt him, because he's going to mouth off at the wrong person, and the things he says is downright uncalled for. The things he calls people, and I'm sure most of the people that he calls a Jew to get on a train and die like a Jew are actually Jews, because because there are a lot of Jews in Florida. And I hate to see somebody who was Jewish, who may have escaped Nazi occupation or lived through the concentration camp, to have some idiot in a Nazi uniform wearing a swastika yelling at me and telling me to die like a Jew, when this prick doesn't even know anything about what happened then. He's only doing it, he's using it as an argument tool because he knows, because he believes that no one's gonna touch him, and he thinks he has the First Amendment right to say it. And it's a matter of time before somebody catches him and knocks his block off. So, like I said, if you guys are down there, expose this prick. Film him, expose him. You catch him on something and you film something that he says or does that violates the law, take that video to law enforcement. Get him off the street. Alright, people, it is, I want to say a little after 5, and I'm going to go to bed, and I guess I'll go to work tonight. I will talk to you guys later. I will try to post those videos, links in the description if I can. And I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night. Have a safe Monday.